And welcome everybody to the Geek-Gaming.com Nintendo Switch conversation. I, of course, am Dio.
And I'm Jay.
And Nando.
Big Nando, juice in the back. And we discussed a little bit about the price points, the accessories. We discussed a little bit of the games. I figured this will be our last thoughts portion of the show, sort of give our overall impressions. Jay, if you want to go first.
Alright, for me, the Switch, I like it, because I always like Nintendo. I would get it only when the price drops a little bit, when things start to develop with it. I'll be patient about it. I want to try it out. I want to, go out there and test it out and see if it's what I think about it. My personal
You're taking a wait and see, get a hands-on approach.
I'm very reserved about it, yeah.
Nando, what about you? You got any final thoughts on the Wii? Yeah, sorry, the Nintendo Switch. I was gonna say the Wii next.
Yeah, they have a lot of potential. It's something that I would want to see further down the road. I kind of feel a little bit safe. I don't want to risk myself spending that amount of money right off the beginning. Even though if I want it, I can't because the pre-orders are limited.
Oh, it's a mess out there.
It's a real mess.
It's just as bad as the Nintendo Mini. I mean, just way underestimated their pre-sales. Perfect example. I saw the press conference. Even though I was underwhelmed, I went out to try to get it myself. I was informed by an agent of Best Buy in store that you could only pre-order it online, and they were already sold out, and this was at 12 in the afternoon. The day they announced that pre-orders were available. So I am not impressed with them. But you were saying about the potential of the system. Sorry.
Yeah, me at this point, that's the potential of the system. It has a lot. It's very adaptable due to the USB connections that it offers. Also, I would just warn everybody out there: don't go straight ahead to eBay and buy the $1,000 Nintendo Switch because you can't wait. But if you're able to get that money and buy it, go for it. But me, honestly, I'll wait. Yeah. I'll be safe. I'll wait for it.
That's it. It's not like that time when GameCube came out and we were actually waiting out there. All three of us. We actually bought the games before the system came out, and we were like, I can't wait until I pop this into the system. I remember that was the one thing Nintendo did. They allowed you to buy the game before you buy the system. I think you could do that right now.
The thing that sort of that has me wanting to go out and pre-order it is simply the fact that I believe Nintendo has such an original concept on their hands here. Because, and again, this is not a slight against the PS Vita by any stretch of the imaginations, but to me, I think this is the best marriage of a portable system with a comparable, I will say, power to a true home console, and having a home console that you can easily take with you. It's that weird hybrid middle ground that makes me excited for this system, and I'll tell you why. I am not by any stretch of the imagination a portable gamer, but there have been situations where we're out having coffees or you're out with your friends and you're like, hey, why don't you check out this YouTube video? Why don't you check out this thing on my phone? Let's play a quick, game of cards.
That's right.
That could basically be replaced with, hey, Jay, have you seen this new thing that I could do in Skyrim? A game that we still enjoy to this day. That's why I think it's a great example of what the system is capable of, because Skyrim still looks good today.
I'm still playing Special Edition, and I'll be making a video.
And there is so much in that game that I remember having conversations with my friends about it. Now it's not just having conversations, say, hey, experience it with me. Hey, you want to play a quick game of Mario Kart while we're here at the park having our ice cream or coffee, you know what I mean? I know it sounds cheesy, but even if it's just sitting in a car, having coffee with your friend, the ability that you have of potentially whipping out something of that size, a portable system, and saying, hey, let's play a new, up-to-date home console game on the go is exciting to me. Yes, you could say that it's 720p outside of the dock, which it is. But to me, 720p is really stunning fidelity when you think about what portable consoles are capable of, what portable systems have been doing the past couple of years. And this is Nintendo we're talking about.
Yeah.
If there's anyone that's going to nail the feel of a portable game, be it old school, new school, it's going to be Nintendo. I think it has the potential there.
It does.
The games they showed just didn't express that enough. And I think that's what's most disappointing for us as North American audience. Again, Dragon Quest is not my game. I don't dislike the series per se. It's just I look at the style of game, I know it's a JRPG, and I just know it's not for me. You know what I mean? Everyone has that personal taste, and I think what appealed to the world in this sense, again, perfect example, FIFA. They were trying to appeal to the broadest audience, sort of left us as the North American hardcore audience a little bit out in the cold. I don't think they did enough to sort of entice us. And when you're talking about a company who's, I don't want to say in dire straits. I mean, they have money. They're going to make their money back with this system one way or the other, but after the devastating effect that the Wii U had on them, you would think that they would try to course correct a little bit more in the same way that Microsoft and PlayStation have sort of established themselves as the market leader. You were saying a little bit, Nando, about the online features and how you think that's a step in the right direction for Nintendo, and I was curious to hear why you would say that, because a lot of people would traditionally see Nintendo as the people that were giving out these services for free, the holdouts, the sort of like white knight, if you will. So why do you think going to a paid platform is the right move for Nintendo?
Well, honestly, I would give the example towards Sony and the PS3 version. People used to say, hey, we don't pay for services that we use online gameplay. And most of the time, what happens? A lot of disconnects, a lot of problems. And also, if they're thinking about giving a premium version, is that quality connection. If you have problems, you would have tech support helping you out. It's very important to have a quality of service. Also, I don't think it's going to cost as much as you think. Oh, I believe it's going to be like maybe $40-50 a year.
I could see that, definitely. I mean, like you said, the fact that we are now paying for this service means they are able to spend more money on it.
Right.
And traditionally, Nintendo services have not been the greatest simply because they haven't really invested in it.
That's right.
I'm hoping, like you say, they will take those subscriptions and do something with it. I'm curious to see, because they haven't really announced much regarding what the interface is going to be like, what the storefront is going to be like, what the connectivity itself is going to be like.
That's right.
They have said that they will be letting you play a different classic NES game or a classic Super Nintendo game on the console for a period of 1 month. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that the game is basically given to you to play as like on a quote-unquote time trial basis for 1 month? Meaning, okay, here's Super Mario Brothers 3 for the month of, let's say, February. I'm sorry, not February. It's going to come out in March. So let's just say March for the sake of argument.
February.
Here it is: Mario Brothers 1 and Super Mario World, free to play for 1 month. At the end of March, when it comes to the next month, are those games going to disappear and you get a new replacement game? That seems to be the way they've worded things and the way that it's being presented right now. Or are they going to go a more, I like to use the word premium simply because PlayStation really has proven themselves when it comes to giving a premium online service.
That's probably what they're going to do.
Would they be willing to say, not only are these games yours for the month, but you know what? Every month we will give you a free classic NES game, a free SNES game, as sort of their Nintendo with Gold
Yeah, exactly.
service, or their Nintendo Online service. If they did something like that to keep themselves competitive with the library of games that Nintendo was basically revered for, let's be honest, and taking that concept and taking what Xbox and PlayStation have sort of started and running with it full force, I think we might have a winner on our hands.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like they're going to go that route unless we sort of force their hand. But you never know. Maybe they might be willing to offer like a Netflix type service where, you know what, for X amount of dollars a month, let's say it's $10 a month for the Nintendo monthly online service. But here's our Nintendo library, here's our SNES library. Go have some fun, play any games you want, and it'll be rotating out not one game a month, but I would think if they offered a service like that, similar to Netflix, they could rotate in several games a month.
Yeah.
Then that might be something interesting too.
Like one of the services that I pay like $5 a month with EA Access, I have a bunch of library games that are available to me, and that's actually amazing. I love it. And you know what? It's well worth it. And if Nintendo approaches with something like that, we will probably see a really good...
Yeah, and who knows? Nintendo is the king of quirky innovations. They entice you to come back every single time. And I'm really hoping they do something interesting with this. Again, some of the phrasing, I need to know more details. Like the idea of them talking about the connectivity through the app, through your phone, it's like, well, wait a minute, you're telling me now that in order to have voice chat with my friends, I need my phone? Why don't I just dial my friends on my phone? You know what I mean? Like, they need to clarify a lot of these issues, how the service will work, and I think they sort of came out with that a little too early.
That's right.
I think what they should have done was focus more on hyping up the home console market, and a little bit more us in North America, but let's say the home console market. If it showed more games, I think we would have had less blowback. Home console market, and then come E3, that's when you could come out and say, oh, by the way, we're going to have an online service. This is how it's set up. This is what our plan is. This is how we're going to be able to have it benefit the people that have already adopted the Nintendo Switch and people who are coming on board.
Okay.
Sure.
With a closing topic, what would you like to see come out on the Switch eventually?
To be perfectly honest, if I had to say something new, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And it's not to say that I don't have faith in Zelda Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey, but again, we knew those games were going to be amazing. What I want is for a third-party publisher to come to Nintendo with something new, something big. You know, it doesn't say much when the game that Ubisoft is bringing to the Nintendo Switch is Rayman Legends.
That's it.
You know, a game that's been out for a couple years, just got given away not too long ago, both by Ubisoft on, I think, their Ubisoft free game of the month for the year or whatever it was, Uplay service, or through Xbox Gold. I want them to come out with, if you're going to give us a Rayman game, give us a new Rayman game. Show us you have a little faith in the system. And that would apply to Nintendo as well. I need them to come out swinging. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is great. It looks fun. But again, why not make it just the new Mario Kart? You know, show that faith in the systems. Throw some muscle behind it. Get us hyped.
They promised the new Metroid, and I hope it's going to be great and it's going to look good. And they go with what they did at first with the GameCube. But for me, what I'm hoping that comes out and will be better than the past versions would be Mario Party. And I can't wait and see what they could do with the Switch, with multiple games. Just imagine you're with a crowd of friends. Okay, now what will you do with these controllers, with the Joy-Cons, you know, and the touch tablet? There's gonna be. I'm sure they're gonna do something like this, where they're gonna tell you, oh, like as an instruction for the game, pull out the tablet, put it on the table, and the friends will be tapping on the tablet, or they have to draw something out or play a Pictionary game or whatnot.
Yeah, you see a lot of the innovations that they did with the Wii U sort of translated over to the new system and seeing what they could do with all of this stuff combined on the go or at home. Yeah,
Because
I think that could be interesting.
They opened a lot of doors to using their imagination and their quirkiness. As you said, Nintendo has that quirkiness, that fun family type of gaming, and I respect that. I kind of respect that they're doing it more family oriented, but come out with something fun for all ages, like you've always done. And if you're gonna pull something out like Mad World was insane, and you played it. It's your brother that got me that, and that game was amazing. If they do something like that, I heard they're doing a parental control. That's really cool. They need to do that, but they need to hit all ages. If they're gonna come out with future titles and new IPs, make it for all ages.
You know what? To that end, I will say that I think a little bit of the disappointment out there has to do with us as a North American audience. You know what? Them snapping their fingers, saying the word Switch over and over again. Them saying "share the joy" when they're referring to their Joy-Con. These are dad jokes. Let's be honest. They're dad jokes. So you got to think this is coming from a company that's been fairly reserved their whole time, their whole existence. Nintendo's sort of been that reserved company in the corner, not sort of ruffling feathers or shaking the boat too much. And I think they needed to come out with a little bit more fun. Mm-hmm. If they presented themselves a little bit more fun and a little bit less dad jokey, I think they would have had a better showing. What do you think? Yeah.
Well, what I think about the Nintendo right now, what I would see it perform to its maximum potential is to. I know they're very into quality graded games and they want quality over quantity. I understand that, but also they have to be more open-minded into the market, what people actually play. Even though the games are crap, but people still play it. I would want them to take a chance, take a risk. Grab a game, just grab a game, talk to the company, try to deal something in, see if there's some people that could join in for the next, I don't know, Call of Duty or anything else, the next WWE, SmackDown or Raw, whatever.
Yeah, I think the parental controls is the sign that they might be loosening up a little bit in that sense.
They have to.
I would have never thought that a game like Skyrim might have made it into a Nintendo library. Yeah, and that's not because the game itself, I find it overly violent. But there is moments of decapitations. There is moments where you slit a guy's throat from behind. So it's not like it's the purest of family-friendly, games. But I'm glad to see Nintendo sort of opening themselves up at least a little bit in that sense. I'm hoping, like you guys mentioned, the parental controls is that fail-safe where they say, you know what, fine, you guys want adult games, there's adult games. Guess what, if you got a family, here's the parental controls, here's how you stop them from playing these games, simple and easy. Same way that you would do on a PC.
I would say an example of this case, a kid borrows a violent game from another kid, and the parents don't know, and he shoves it in the console, and you can't play it because there's a parental control. Here's the protection. That's the good thing.
That's what it is.
That's the whole perception.
Back in the old day, when we had Mortal Kombat, we had green blood.
But only on Super NES. Genesis, you had blood.
No, we had sweat and we had to enter the code for the blood.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation, and if something big happens again, we might get together again. Maybe like this, maybe all three of us in person next time.
Sure, but one more thing,
sure,
guys. Just to wrap it up, final concept of this. Let's start with Jay. You're still gonna wait, or you're gonna see how it goes. What's your perspective towards the Nintendo?
Like I said, I'm very reserved. I want to see what the system has to offer. Like I said, I'm going to try it out at Best Buy. If I like it, it ups the ante on my anticipation of getting it. Right now, am I excited to get it immediately? you know, I'm not gonna go run out there and take my money. It's not one of those, you know.
What about you, Dennis?
Well, look, I was willing to pre-order it until I saw the shit show that the pre-order system is. That's my honest opinion. If you make it that hard for me to give you my money, when I'm happy for you, when I want you to succeed, at that point, you know what? They're gonna have to take their chances now and hope they have one in Best Buy when I swing by one day.
Yeah, honestly,
I think that
still far away.
That undercutting of the market sort of soured me more than anything else that you could have pointed to in this press conference. I was willing to forgive anything that happened in that press conference if you would have told me that I could have gone and pre-ordered it right then and there, cash in hand. But I can't. So it's Nintendo underestimating its market, and that disappoints me and sours me on going out and giving them my money more than it does for the Switch itself as a console. So that's the best way I can phrase it right now, at least.
Okay.
All right.
On my side, it's simple. I just like to see the big picture. I see a lot of potential. As a technician on my domain, I see a lot of potential from the system. But right now, since the past decades, I was very cautious about Nintendo. And I just can't wait to see the results. Yeah.
All right. So thank you for putting up with us and our comments and our whining about Nintendo. Please do leave us a comment. You know, if you want us to change something, you want us to improve, just lock it down, and
Comment,
we will take
subscribe,
a look.
Dislike doesn't matter. Just give something.
That's it. And subscribe, like, we appreciate it, and have yourselves a great day.
See y'all next time.